Hi, it's Mary Sue Penn, and today we're going to talk about finding our aces in the hole and being able to build upon them. I've written a book called Lessons I've Learned from Solitaire, and I want to thank you so much for voting for me at nexttopauthor.com. And in Solitaire, we build upon the aces. They're the very foundation of how we build a game of solitaire, and in life we build upon our aces in the hole. So how do we discover what our foundation stones are? This is important information if we're seeking purpose, seeking a direction in life, and also if we're starting over. We want to rely on our foundations. Perhaps we're starting over in a job or a relationship, or maybe we're starting a new phase in a job or a relationship. Well, today we're going to talk about the Ace of Clubs. And solitaire originally was thought to have been used as a divination tool, and the suits all have symbolism in them. Now the club, the symbol of the club, if you look at it closely, you can see it, you might consider it the top of a scepter or a wand that we can wave in the world and with our voice activate a happening in the world. The clubs relate to the element of fire, of action, a way of acting, a way of speaking and communicating something that changes things in the world. It's fire changes things and promotes new growth. So how do we look for our own personal Ace of Clubs as a starting point? Well, let's take a few deep breaths, center ourselves, and we're going to discover our own personal Ace of Clubs in the hole. Now, to do this, please put your hands gently over your throat to cover your throat chakra. This is the 5th chakra in the body. Just gently over your throat. Because when we speak and communicate, that's how we can bring about change in our world and in others. So with our hands gently over our throats and centered with a few deep breaths, let's go back to a time earlier in our life, possibly in our late teens or young adulthood. From that point forward, where we were given our own personal wands of power. And it was ours to use, and suddenly we're there to wave our wands and make something happen in our lives. Whereas in the past, perhaps we had to rely on other people to do so. Now we have our own personal wand of power. So thinking back in your life, just floating on back, just see if you can recall an event or an incident where you were able to use your wand of power and say abracadabra or open sesame, and you really felt that your actions had made you feel so good. Some action that you took made you feel really, really good and positive about yourself and others. Think about that action, and later I want you to write it down and remember it. Remember everything about it and recall the details. Now, what is it about that particular action that made you feel so good? And one that springs to mind to me is when I was a reporter, and I was writing a story about this family that needed some help. And so I was able to help this family through my words, through my writing. And so one of my ace in the holes related to the ace of clubs is being able to express myself through words. And also through a paintbrush, and that gives me great satisfaction in doing that. So the pen and the paintbrush, those are my ace in the holes, my way of action that brings me joy and helps me to inspire others. Now, other people that may have a similar ace of clubs in the hole, or perhaps for other people, their wand or scepter is a different type of tool. Maybe it's a basketball, for example, and being able to put that basketball through the hoop from great distances or close up, or being able to block shots, it works both ways. They have a magical power on the basketball court, and it brings them great joy. And not only that, but when people watch you experiencing a joyful moment, it brings them great joy and can be so inspiring. So maybe for you it's a situation like that, where that is your ace of clubs in the hole. It's whatever way that you find to wave your magic wand in the world and act and make things happen. So please write this down and look at your event, your action in the world that made you so happy, and know that whatever that lesson is in that action, you can go back and rely on that over and over again and build upon that strength, that secret way of acting in the world that gives you strength and pleasure and is inspiring. So I hope you've enjoyed discovering your ace of clubs in the hole today, and please, please, if you have enjoyed it, tell others about this video and tell them they can have access to it if they go to www.nexttopauthor.com and vote for me, Mary Sue Penn, Penn, like Pennsylvania. And my book is Lessons I've Learned from Solitaire, Shuffling Toward Victory, one card at a time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.